Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thoughts to Think About. I'm Efrain.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Reid.
And we've got some thoughts for you to think about today. Today is a good day. Welcome back. I'm back. This is my second time, being back on the podcast. I just, I've got a lot of words.
Today's a good day.
It's a good day. We're going to have a good day. Sometimes you turn on a podcast and it just goes south, and it's like you want some encouragement, in your podcast.
Give us about 5 seconds and we'll go south real fast.
But today is a good day, Liz.
Today
Okay,
is
I'm
a
so
good
sorry.
day. Today's the day the Lord has made.
We're naming it and claiming it.
Ooh,
We are manifesting
We're
good
talking about passion?
days.
Oh, no.
Talking about fashion?
Manifesting
Oh, no.
good days to our listeners today.
Oh,
You know
my.
the saying, I mean, obviously that movie God's Not Dead just completely threw this saying into the
What's
ground just over and over. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.
Oh, okay.
He said it so
yeah.
many times.
I don't remember that.
I never saw
in the
that movie.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
On purpose.
Being involved in youth group, you're
Yeah,
kind of forced into it.
Yeah.
But there's a song. I was just out in the world, and there is a song that it's God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. But it's like this, what is the?
You got a song of praise in this
It's
heart of mine.
Like
No.
gospel?
God is
or
good.
No.
What are you trying to say?
All
I'm
the
not.
time.
It's not reggae. It's more reggae.
Reggae?
Oh.
Yeah.
I was thinking like kids' church.
No.
We sang this song when I was a kid.
Jesus
No.
Loves Me style? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
No, it's actually a song.
Oh, okay.
It's got music
I mean,
and stuff.
Jesus Loves Me is a song too. So
And it's truth. You
dang,
know.
wow.
Wow.
The depth of Jesus Loves Me. Amen.
Snaps out for all.
Just,
For
But no,
the
yeah.
Bible tells me so.
just
Well, playing the organ.
we have digressed so fast.
Well, I mean,
No,
this is the
it's
podcast.
good.
This is what they tune in to listen to. This is
Right,
what they
yeah.
want.
They
Give the people what they want. Yeah, you listener, you dear listener.
so HCU, my alma mater, they had their official Instagram, right? We talked about this. They have HCU official is their Instagram because they couldn't get Houston Christian University because they spelled it University.
University. Right?
Anyway, so they posted this video that was asking all the students, "Hey, what are you doing for spring break this year?" And so it was like going around to lots of different students, and I watched it. Two of the students that they interviewed, just asked them, were wearing hoodies or sweaters from other colleges. I was like, that's if you're posting this on your official page, you probably want to pick people who are wearing your gear
Sounds
or
super
just
official.
yeah. But then there was another one, and this guy annoyed me so much because they said, "Hey, what are you doing for spring break?" And he said, "Intercession." And then he's quoted a line of scripture and said, it talks about interceding at all times for all people. And I was like, dude, what? Jesus juke answer, right? I don't want you to eat you better not eat any food. You better not play any games with your friends. You better not go out. You better not do nothing but sit in your room and intercede. Not really,
For everybody on this
but it's just if you're going to Jesus juke, dude, don't do that. But also the kicker for this, on the official HCU Instagram page, they posted this video. That guy that said he's interceding was wearing a Playboy sweatshirt.
No, you're lying.
Not lying. Absolutely wearing a Playboy sweatshirt.
Are you sure it wasn't one of those Christian parody shirts?
No, I went back and looked at it.
Playboy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was actually Playboy.
Playboy.
It had the
No.
bunny.
What?
And so maybe I need to go back and watch it again to see
Not
if it
a
said
lamb.
Playboy.
It's just like a peace sign or something.
I gotta go check, but I'm 95% sure it said Playboy.
Wow.
It's dude, come on, man.
Well, hey, maybe he's a new convert. He hasn't had a chance to get some new clothes, but he's like, you know what?
Somebody needs to teach
I'm
this
gonna
kid,
intercede.
Jesus
right where I
juking
am.
people ain't the way.
Yeah, Reid. It's not about the clothes that you wear. Okay, it's about
the jukes that you put on people with Jesus.
it's about the Jesus jukes you
in
do.
the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Christians are just, as a Christian, sometimes Christians are just weird, man.
Tell me about it. They make movies
Yeah.
called God Is Not Dead or something like that.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Whoa, the
Yeah.
trilogy.
What's the deal with Christian movies being so bad?
They're bad.
What's up with Christian movies?
What's the deal
Seinfeld,
with Christian movies?
Seinfeld voice. I did it bad. So.
They're bad,
Yeah.
but the movies are bad.
Yeah, that was
The movies are about as bad as Reid's Seinfeld voice.
I was actually doing the April Fool's impersonation from Fairly Odd Parents, who is Jerry Seinfeld.
Is that who it is?
I didn't
definitely.
know that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that as a kid.
Because he goes around going, "What's up with that?"
Oh, right,
all the
right,
time.
right. Yeah.
The
I
April
didn't-
Fool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it actually Jerry Seinfeld or was it an impersonation of?
An impersonation of.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I never
they've
made
got
that
the
connection.
Tooth Fairy
It's very
and they've
meta.
got yeah.
Yeah, I never made that connection.
I didn't until I was an adult. So.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He's like, until right now, I need to redeem.
Did you know
this.
that the artist and creator of Fairly Odd Parents is a devout Christian?
Interesting.
Yes.
Huh.
He is a devout Christian. He's coming out with I think either a Bible or just like a storybook type of Bible where it's just got a collection of Bible stories.
He's he's coming out with Bible 2.
The Bible too. But no, he's like got artwork in there, and so
Yeah.
it's like Fairly Odd Parents artwork.
That's
So-
cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's
What
some
are-
of my
what's the-
I learned that this week.
What are the fairies' name? Is Wanda and
Cosmo.
are they like guiding kids through the Bible? It's like
If Wanda, I don't
Yeah.
think that's probably
Each chapter.
trademarked.
I was gonna say I don't think he's legally allowed to do that, but very cool.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, right? Like that. So that guy, just out in the world making a funny kids show, and that show's pretty goofy, but
Right.
like there's some values in there,
Yeah.
and there's stuff. Obviously, he's working with the studio or whatever, so I don't know like what level of input he had, in that sense. But
I have a couple of Fairly Odd Parents episodes that really stood out to me. One of them was when Chester McBadbats is like the best baseball player in the world.
Yeah.
Love that episode.
Yep.
It's so funny.
great
And
name.
then
It's a good
the other
baseball
one, the other one where Timmy wishes that everybody was like, I don't remember what the wish was, but everybody turns into gray blobs. So everybody's exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm grayer than you.
yeah, I forgot about that.
It was very
Yeah.
wow.
pretty good commentary on society.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like he made the show, and it's just out in the world. But then there's like the subsect of like only Christian movies and only
TV shows.
Christians in like these type of Christian worlds are gonna like really get it and kind of connect with it. And again, no hate on creators or whatever, but like
No.
they're pretty rough. I mean, and most people I think kind of agree that those Christian
Yeah.
movies are not the best.
I think from like from the acting to the directing, like, and honestly the writing, a lot of times it's just kind of all around rough. I will say the one thing that's not is the Chosen series.
I've heard that's pretty good.
Very well done, but it's
I was wondering when we were going to talk about this.
The Chosen.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day. There's like some level of controversy around The Chosen, right?
Yeah, a little bit
so.
from some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reid being one of those, or
What? No, I don't care that they're making it.
I don't mind.
That sounded bad.
just the
like-
look you had on your face was like, let me take a deep breath in because I got a big.
I mean, I don't mind.
So first of all,
It's allowed, I guess.
no, like I haven't watched much of it. I've seen clips. My problem is like we have youth leaders, right? And they cycle through teaching the youth on Wednesday nights. And I don't mind people using videos and like stuff, but if it becomes too habitual, then it's like the chosen is teaching the lesson and not you, right? And the lessons are designed for us to be dialoguing with the students and really talking about things and not just putting a video on for them and being like, hey, watch this and then you'll learn Bible, right? And so, yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it can't be our Bible for us.
Right.
But it's not. That's not the like show's fault.
No,
that people are
it's
doing
not.
that.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, I don't care that they're making it. I'm fine with it. I haven't watched it myself. But when people are like, oh, this happened in The Chosen, which means God is okay with
the
this.
Bible, right?
It's like, that's not exactly how it works.
Right.
Right? Like you even have to be careful with translations you're reading,
Yeah, for sure.
Because, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Chosen might be good.
Okay. All
Maybe
right. Well,
one day
I
I'll
mean,
watch it.
I don't know. I've
I think you
never
should
watched
watch
it
it.
myself.
I'm really waiting until
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty. I'm not like up to date with the newest episodes that have come out, but I mean, it's pretty well done. I believe it's crowdfunded. That's how it started.
Oh, interesting.
I think it still is.
That's
for
pretty cool.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
There's a family in my church that have been on like as background people because they were part of the crowdfund.
Oh, cool.
So, like, in
they
the
got to
first-
be like background.
So like the first
pretty
season
sweet.
when they did like Jesus fed the 5,000, everyone who
You
was
needed 5,000
involved-
people.
Yeah,
That was 4,002. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm a
sweet.
random listener, 4002.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I don't have any lines.
but yeah. So that was pretty
Cheer. Yeah,
True.
that was
Whoa.
louder than I
cool.
expected.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That was the crowd cheering for Jesus. So
All right, Reid.
anyway,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait and binge it when it all comes out because I don't want to be left on any cliffhangers.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about that. Is there any are there spoilers for this show, or do I need to stay up to date?
Is there a
It's
book I
one
should
of
read
those,
first so I have a reference for it?
It's a movie adaptation from a book.
Okay,
Oh.
it's one of those. Yeah.
Aubrey
but
would
you
love.
could-
We were trying to do book to film club, so she'd probably love that.
But you could probably just watch the movie instead of reading the book. It's like Twilight.
It's exactly the same.
The movies are better than the books.
Yeah, I really hope they
Jeez.
come out with a sequel.
Are they on seasons? Is it a season show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
season are they on?
3, I think.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 3.
3 or 4.
So are they in Revelation already, or how's it?
I think they started with Jesus' ministry, so I don't know.
I believe they're walking through the whole New Testament.
The whole New Testament.
I think so.
Cool.
It's gonna get real boring when they're just the camera on Paul writing.
Just in prison. Yeah.
It's
Just orating to his writer, his
okay.
ghostwriter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
His
No,
ghostwriter.
It's not his ghostwriter, but yeah.
No, but that is basically probably like what happened because like at the end of his letters, he's like, "See the big writing I write with." Like, and if you look at the manuscripts, it's like it starts like what Paul probably did, and what most people writing things did is they would narrate to a scribe because the scribe's job was to write. So
And then there's aren't they in one of the books, one of the letters,
who the scribe?
the scribe or something?
Yeah, I think Paul does say like in this
references the
yeah,
scribe.
the
Yeah.
scribe who is also a brother,
Right,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't remember
pretty
which
cool.
one that is, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
yeah. I don't know. It's in the back half somewhere.
Yeah. It's in the New Testament, I think.
That's in the back somewhere.
It's somewhere back there. Anyway,
So from,
that's Christian stuff. I know
one-
Reid has a something. Go ahead.
Yeah. From one religion to another. I went on a Disney cruise with my
Lord.
wife.
Disney's like, cool.
Oh my
that was a couple months
gosh.
ago, but we never talked about it. But the reason I
Disney
want to bring it
cult.
up is because of something that happened on the cruise.
Oh.
You see, this is why you don't do cruises. Something always happens.
No, it wasn't bad, but it was very cold. So if I ever go on a January cruise again, I will definitely be bringing like a thick jacket, like what do you call it, like a sealskin or something? I don't know what they call it. Like
Oh,
waterproof.
right.
So
Yeah.
like the windbreakers that are also very warm.
A wetsuit.
Sealskin?
Yeah. I feel like that's what they call it, like a sealskin. It's not actual sealskin, but it's like
That's called pedo.
dolphin skin. Oh.
No.
Is that
What?
sadder? Which one's sadder to kill, a seal or a dolphin?
I kind of feel like a seal. They
feel like
just
this is a
seem
setup.
very like dopey.
Yeah, dolphins have been known to do some pretty horrifying
That's
things.
true. Dolphins are smart and kind of messed up. That's a good point. Seals, they're just
But dolphins
lobbing
sometimes
around.
rescue people and kill sharks.
That's true. That's also true.
But seals just are like, oh. They're just like chilling,
Clip it.
Love that.
That's a real right
Yeah.
there.
So yeah, we're on the cruise. It was very cold. It was like a day to Mexico, and then we spent a day in Mexico, and then like a day back. So it was like technically a 4-day cruise, but we had a lot of fun. But one thing sorry.
You're good.
Oh gosh, my throat. Chocolate.
Like an old
water.
man.
I need water.
I also love that episode of SpongeBob.
Y'all,
where he
I'm-
crawls. He goes, food, water, atmosphere.
Just a little cliffhanger. I've started a deep dive research on the SpongeBob episode that I'm gonna force us all to do, and it's a lot.
On one episode?
An episode that we're going to do.
Oh, of the podcast.
Oh,
You're going
I
to-
thought you were like, I'm going to force you to watch an episode of SpongeBob and deep dive it. And I was like, you don't have to force me to watch it.
I'll watch it for
SpongeBob.
fun.
No, I'm like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's just the tip
Oh,
of the
I'm-
iceberg I've discovered.
I'm
What a-
excited.
What a teaser,
I'll
Yeah.
sprinkle that in there midway.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
well, you needed water.
did I need water?
No.
Oh,
you
I was
needed
like,
your seal
I don't remember that part of the cruise. Yeah, so it's fun, I think, when you're on a cruise to talk to like the people who work for the cruise line because like they're from all over the place.
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Met lots of people from like the Caribbean, like a bunch of Caribbean islands, and I'm blanking on the country now. Indonesia, lots of people from Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah, because they have like a very big hospitality industry in
Yeah.
Indonesia, and so like cruise lines pull from there, they hire from there. So
That's cool.
it's cool. But man, it's crazy because like those guys who are working on the cruise ship are working on the cruise ship like 4 months or 6 or 7 months straight, and then they have like 4 or 5 months off, and then they go back for like it's like they're gone for huge chunks of time from their families.
That's nuts. I don't know if I could live like that.
I know, it's wild. I don't think Aubrey could live like that if I were gone for like 8 months and then back for 4 months.
No.
I think it sounds kind of cool. But yeah,
Heads
the
up,
guy with
narrative.
kids. Oh man, that sounds pretty sweet.
Take a few months off.
No, I've always thought that sounded like a cool thing. Like,
yeah, maybe when I was like a bachelor.
right,
it'd
exactly.
be cool.
I could see that.
Just like hanging out.
Most of them pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, they were like my age or in their 30s, but when I
makes
talked to them,
sense.
they had families, like they had kids and wives and,
So it wasn't like at Disney World how there's a lot of like older service, workers.
not on the cruise ship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because like, at Disney World, you're kind of in Florida. So
Right.
you've got the older retired
Yeah.
community. And so they're like, hey, I'll go work at Disney World, and so you see a lot of that at the parks.
No, it was mostly younger people. And they were really honest with me. They were like, we make really good money doing this, like compared to what they would make in their Caribbean island or in Indonesia or wherever, And so they're like, yeah, we make really good money. We send it back. We go home for 4 months, and it kind of sucks, but it's also a lot better job than what we would get back.
Yeah,
back
that makes
there.
sense.
So, but yeah, I bring all that up because Aubrey and I stopped by our room, and the guy who was cleaning our hall, he was in charge of cleaning our hallway. He was there. We had talked to him a couple times, but we started chatting with him. His name was Alston, and he was from the country St. Vincent.
Cool.
Also known as Antilles, apparently. It's a Caribbean island. Well, there's it's a chain of Caribbean islands.
I was gonna say, is it the Greater Antilles? It's like includes all the little islands that are broken off of it?
Yeah. So there's like St. Vincent is the big island, and then there's like lots of little islands. So it's called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So he's from that part of the Caribbean.
Sounds like a good band name.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
Grenadine's also a thing you add into drinks, usually alcoholic drinks.
cool. Shirley Temples,
That's one of them, yeah.
which is not alcoholic.
No.
Liz.
Sorry, my pass is coming back.
Wait, this whole time? You telling me Shirley Temple's non-alcoholic?
we just hard cut to Efrain like a week ago, just throwing back Shirley Temples, and he's acting super drunk. Oh, wow.
Picked a hard week to quit.
Yeah, so we started talking to Alston, and it, like, I don't know how he got here, but he was like, yeah, I used to be a policeman on my island.
What?
He was like, the island is really small, like 300 people on the island, right? So everybody knows everybody, and he didn't carry a gun or anything. He had a baton, but he like never had to use it because like if something happened, if a crime happened, then people turned them in. Like there was a lot of trust in the community because it's so tiny, and so.
The community's like, I'm not standing for this.
Right.
That's
like,
kinda cool.
like you don't do this because like we all trust each other. Right.
Wow.
So like apparently being a police officer on that specific island was not
Kinda
that
boring.
tough. Right. I mean, but yeah. Sorry. But yeah. And so then he's telling us like there was this guy, the top aide to the prime minister.
Mr. Grenadine.
Right. Exactly. He was telling us
Sir Grenadine.
Sir
thank you.
Grenadine.
that the aide to the prime minister was also like a pretty popular radio host, and so like he like would do talk shows, and he was basically a really big proponent into like activism in the
Call of
country,
Duty in
in the country, right? And so people are listening to him, and so like he was like at the forefront of like getting all of these like laws enacted because through like people's activism, and then I almost messed it up again.
So good.
And like in like spurring people on to like have change for the good of the people, right?
Yeah.
And so he was telling us, yeah, and then one day that dude just turns up dead, and like it does, like there's no murder in this country because the islands are small and the community knows each other. And so I found an excerpt about this. So this is an extract of the U.S. Embassy Cable 554 from March 30, 2006.
Sorry, that was just so specific, and I have no connection to what cable 555
It's
is.
from the U.S.
Oh my god.
That's where
What
it's
does it
from.
mean? Yeah.
So if you want to look it up later, anyway. So the brutal murder of the top aide to Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has left the government of St. Vincent and the ruling Unity Labour Party, or ULP, bereft of one of its leading figures, Glenn Jackson, who served as government press secretary and personal aide to the PM, Prime Minister, was among Gonsalves' closest confidants, attending all cabinet meetings and weighing in on important policy issues. He was also a key figure in the ruling ULP, helping the party defeat the long-governing New Democratic Party, or NDP, in 2001 and win re-election in 2005. Jackson's body was found near his home in the capital, Kingstown, on March 6th. According to press reports, he died of a gunshot wound. Police have yet to identify a suspect or motive for the murder.
Jeez.
Glenn Jackson was a divisive figure in St. Vincent, leading to speculation that his murder may not have been a random crime. A journalist by profession, Jackson rose to prominence in the 1990s as host of St. Vincent's first talk radio program. This platform allowed Jackson to use his eloquence and passion to turn out hundreds of people for public demonstrations against what he saw as a variety of ills that plagued St. Vincent. Among these was a protest against the USG for its support of ending preferential trade quotas for Caribbean bananas. Very specific.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Similar demonstrations initiated by Jackson were directed against then Prime Minister James Mitchell and ruling NDP contributing to a political crisis that culminated in 2001 elections that brought the opposition ULP and Ralph Gonsalves to power. Jackson followed Gonsalves into government while continuing his role as radio host provocateur, drawing the ire of many who believed he contributed negatively to the nation's hothouse political climate. Yeah, there's one more paragraph. I was thinking if it was like important or not. I'm gonna read it. In government, Glenn Jackson established himself as one of PM Gonsalves' most trusted associates and was given the official title personal aide in addition to press secretary. Jackson was among a handful of people that were close to Gonsalves in a government full of political appointees and bureaucrats of questionable ability. This common quality of governments in the Eastern Caribbean has the effect of making already small governing institutions even smaller, so that decision-making and access to information are often concentrated in a small clique close to the Prime Minister. In St. Vincent, PM Gonsalves has taken this tendency to an extreme, and nearly all government initiatives are run directly from his office. As the PM's top aide, Glenn Jackson was therefore exceptionally knowledgeable. Post was particularly fortunate to identify Jackson's value and cultivate a relationship that made him our most important contact. So when he says our most important contact, this article, that was the only the information from the embassy cable, but this article written by some random dude from Eyewitness News, it's crazy. This is the only thing I could find about it, but it's this article from an aspiring journalist who's writing about it, who was digging into it for his own benefit. Basically, they go on to say that Glenn Jackson was basically feeding information to the U.S. embassy and helping them to control the political scene in St. Vincent, right? And then either some other superpower or the other political party that was not benefiting from Jackson sent an assassin to kill him. And so it was never discovered who it was or what caused it. And so it was just crazy because we're hanging out on a cruise, we're having a good time, we're about to go see a show, and we're like, hey, what's going on, Austin? He's like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. Our really cool guy was assassinated. It's what? Is that recent? No, it was 2006.
So this happened when he was a police officer?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was
I'm guessing it's never been solved because it's pretty stuck with him.
Yeah, and he was it's never been solved. We don't know who did it. We don't know why. Really, there's not any press coverage about it. People don't talk about it, but it happened. And I was like, oh, interesting. Jeez. So I found this article, and I was like, whoa, it's crazy.
This is our hard left turn into true crime. So thank you for watching. This is or listening. This is now a true crime podcast.
Yeah,
Crimes
true crime to think about.
Yeah, right.
Darn it.
Yeah. So
shots.
Excuse you?
Watch your mouth. You're going to wash your mouth out.
My acronym's not working.
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
So the guy you mentioned something about bananas. Like there's some strong stuff about the bananas.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that he was involved in was like the deregulation of banana trade or something like that.
The banana trade. So somebody got shot over the bananas, over how their bananas were traded. And how
ending preferential trade quotas for Caribbean bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. He's an importer-exporter.
Right.
Glenn Davis or whatever.
Where do your bananas come from?
Where do my bananas come from? Well, they don't come from St. Vincent.
Probably the Caribbean.
I guess not anymore.
No,
somebody got.
What is it, Chiquita?
Chiquita.
It's like the big one. I mean, there's like a lot of like politics and like conspiracies about banana trade. Like bananas are super cheap. Mm-hmm. Why? Because probably slave labor. There's a lot of like weird regulations going on, like it's monopoly sort of, but also like they've been genetically modifying these bananas through generations and generations of bananas to make them taste better, be more ripe and last longer, but it's also like running all of the other banana populations extinct. So
apparently like you almost can't find a regular banana anymore. Like they almost don't exist.
Just like corn. Like
it's a different thing.
Not,
GMO corn is
it's
what
like
we
dogs
eat.
and wolves, it's like
My dog is GMO.
Yeah.
I mean, he is really.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Walter's definitely a GMO. Just look at him.
I don't know about Walter.
Was it you that I was sending all of the chicken laying eggs issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the fall.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like sort of connected to the banana scandal, but like there was just I didn't go searching for this, and it was just like random. This is around the time that I realized I need to take a break from TikTok, especially conspiracy TikTok.
Efrain.
That's where I live.
Me. But the last thing that I really dug into were these chicken laying eggs issues. So it is kind of sketch, and then I just haven't heard anything from these people that I like researched on. Yeah. So basically there's like several farmers that were talking about how their chickens normally like they start laying eggs at this time, but they haven't been laying for months. And some were like, oh, well, it's winter, and a lot of times the production slows down or it kind of comes to a halt. But there are some people that keep their like chicken coops like temperature controlled so that they can produce eggs year round. Where there's several that were talking about how even in the temperature control, it's not happening. They're not producing eggs. They don't really know what's going on. One person was like, we changed the feed that we give, and then they're starting to produce eggs again. And so someone was like, well, what's wrong with the feed that I've been giving them? And it took her down this huge rabbit hole that basically there's like a monopoly happening in like the egg world right now. Ooh. Or like chicken/egg. So it's like these two main companies, and Purina is like the child or the branch of a branch of a branch.
Right.
Of like
Purina does chicken feed too?
So yes.
Oh.
But it's like Purina like livestock or whatever. Like,
yeah.
There's like their separate,
right. So it's separate from the dog food, which I'm sure like there's some in the dog food for sure. But like the chain for the like feed, like livestock feed, and like chickens and all that stuff, that company, who is the like overall like parent company, just bought, it's like Tyson, allegedly. It's like the people that
legal
own
reasons.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
We do not support.
You don't know where I live. People who own Tyson, and then there's another, I can't remember what the main company.
Yeah.
But I think they also make like Science Diet, like dog food too. Like they've had multiple brands that you don't realize they're all under the same.
Yeah.
But it's like this huge monopoly that's happening. And so the conspiracy allegedly is that they have altered the
chicken feed.
The chicken
the
feed.
Formula.
The formula.
The secret formula.
Formuoli.
No, ravioli.
Give me the
formuoli.
Good Lord. So sorry.
Banished from the SpongeBob episode.
No, but they've altered the formula to affect the people that like are raising their own chickens so that they now have to purchase.
Yeah.
It's Eggland's Best. Eggland's Best.
Wow, look at you go.
Yes, but that's just one branch of the main, you know.
Right.
And so, Eggland's Best farms have all been bought by the same company who have also purchased several other chicken farms, like egg farms. And it's just this huge, like, right? Like, money is just the motive for all of it.
Pretty much.
It really
but
is.
It just blows my mind. Like, I can fully believe that, like, any shipping, even bananas, like, it sounds silly. Yeah. Anything that has to do with money and like trade, people are just gonna like do whatever
absolutely.
There's deep
in their mind feel like they have to do to
like, be on top, to have money. Yeah.
Like shoot the guy.
The press secretary of
over the nanas. Yeah. Over the nanas. I saw something this week that said like 80% of dogs will develop cancer in their life today, and so. They were talking about how...
Because they're always talking on their cell phones.
Yeah, I guess so. All that 5G,
They're iPad babies.
Those iPad dogs. You never seen those iPad dogs? But they, and they were talking about how that didn't used to be the case in the past. And I always kind of attributed it to, like, just they're living longer, so they develop cancers, you know, like as kind of people do.
It's a question about people as well, right?
Right. That's kind of the thought. But they were kind of positing that, maybe it's something that we're feeding. Like, what are we feeding these dogs? Oh, that's what it was. They had two different diets. It was whether they were on just the regular feed or just like a meat diet, kind of a more just natural dog meat diet. And so basically the meat diet did way better, and so they're feeding them these, dog food, kibble and whatever, and they're developing cancer. It's like, what are we giving the dogs to give them
nuts.
cancer?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be careful about what dog food you give your dogs because a lot of them are just like filler, like not very like healthy at all. Yeah.
Just a lot of grain, corn stuff.
Right. Which then you got microplastics and everything apparently. Everybody's always talking about the microplastics. Like you're drinking.
Like the third person in the past 2 days that have said that, and I'm just like,
that's Bader Meinhof right there.
Have you looked into microplastics at all?
No, I'm scared.
Do not. I'm telling you, don't look into microplastics.
I ain't worried about it.
Because you'll freak out. You will freak out. It's everything.
What doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? I will soon be microplastic man.
I am plastic man.
It's like almost Iron Man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Although, like
the Walmart brand,
right? Yeah, but like, I mean, isn't Kevlar like a type of plastic?
Yeah,
I feel like they're like super strong materials that are like plastics, right?
I mean, there's so much is plastic. I mean, all of this stuff,
Well, that's metal.
There's plastics and everything, right? But there's an amount of plastic.
Right.
And
there's plastics in us,
right?
Microplastics. Apparently.
Yes. Right. Microplastics. My children were born with microplastics.
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
There's not even a fresh start.
No.
There's not even a fresh start.
That's why I don't look into microplastics because it's just doom.
Well,
you're
saying it so much that now my phone hears it and it's
going
to
No, because Apple doesn't want you to know.
They don't want you.
They don't want you to. Yeah. See, that's the thing is like you're not going to get any ads about microplastics because nobody wants you to know about microplastics.
Why would there be ads about it?
Well, it's like it's not going to pop up into your
microplastics.
But it's not going to pop up into your feed. No one's going to be trying to feed you information about microplastics because Apple doesn't benefit from people knowing about microplastics. Instagram doesn't. Facebook doesn't. None of those corporations, the people in power, the proletariat.
The proletariat. Oh gosh.
Sorry. Flashback to high school English. But yeah, they don't want you to, of course, right? So, but you were talking about parent companies and stuff like that. I've seen this graphic a bunch of times where it's like, it's basically there's like 5 or 6 mega corporations that own like 70-80% of the world. Like they have all these sub brands or subdivisions where they do lots of different things, but they're all owned by one corporation.
I was reading something. The top 3 or 4 companies used to be, and I'm probably going to get it wrong.
Well, when you're doing stocks,
Microsoft.
Yeah.
There was like a car one. Could have been General Motors. Probably not. But now, basically, look it up. It's like Amazon, Apple, and shoot, I'm a really poor source
Alphabet,
right now.
maybe? Alphabet, Google.
Oh, here
perhaps.
There it is.
There's so many different
11 companies, 11 consumer goods and food companies control what you buy. Oh, so this is just about consumer goods.
I mean, but even that is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, so you look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola owns... Sorry, so small.
They own like everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Fairlife Milk, Smart Water, Powerade, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola owns Coca-Cola?
Yeah, Minute Maid. They own Minute Maid. What? They own Sprite, Dasani.
They own Minute Maid Park?
Technically.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you got Pepsi over here with like a ton of things. They got Quaker Oats. They got
Pepsi?
Aunt Jemima.
PepsiCo.
They own Pepsi. They own Gatorade. They own Lay's, Doritos. Like basically all the chips,
Yeah.
Kellogg's got all those food things. Mars owns basically every candy bar that you could eat.
Jeez.
Can you look and see outside of consumables?
Yeah, let me look and see if I can find something,
It's just, while he's looking that up, it's so silly when people are like, boycott Michael's, boycott Target. And it's, I don't know why I always jump to like the country accent, but, lives in Arkansas. But it's just so funny when, because like if you boycott one, then if you really look into all of the other products that you buy, just boycott it all, live off the grid, be hunky dory.
There's basically, and that's another one of those like doom kind of mentality things. If you really start digging into it, is that you almost can't escape from the like mega corporation hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Like we're all in it,
Yeah.
And if you boycott one thing, there's something you have a problem with, you kind of have to boycott them all. Because they're all doing unethical stuff. They're all doing something bad.
Yeah. The other day I asked my friends if they had seen The Mandalorian, right? And one of them said, no, I'm boycotting Disney. I don't watch anything Disney anymore. It's like, okay, well, you play Overwatch, which is owned by Blizzard, which like had a system of like sexism in the workplace, right? And so like, it's like, like you can't really pick one or the other, right? Like, I mean, anything that you choose to boycott, you're using something else that's doing something that's just as bad or worse.
Yeah.
Right.
The way I kind of try to think about it is like, at least, from a Christian perspective, there's a lot of things that different companies do that I don't necessarily agree with, right? They have ideologies that I don't, subscribe to myself. And that's all, they're right, to kind of make those choices, either as private companies or as individuals, whatever. But yeah, if you're to kind of have that idea to boycott everything that I'm against, what are you left with in the world? Right. One, but then two, how do you relate to somebody who's not a Christian? If you are, not to like drag them under the bus, but like you basically become like an Amish society where you're like, you've like removed yourself entirely from.
Not to drag them under the carriage.
Dang, that's brutal.
Amish. We talked about them a while back. Remember we talked about that? What's it called? The Rumspringa?
That was a while ago.
That was a ways back. But anyway, basically you become this separate, like secluded society that has nothing to do with the regular world. And so how are you then, if you're called to make disciples of all nations, as Jesus said, how are you supposed to relate to the people who are there, right? Like Paul said in Romans 9 to become all things to all people that, might win one, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I had a friend. I mean, I was pretty respectful about it, but she was like, I think I had like a Starbucks cup in my hand. So we're going to go hang out. And she's like, I just don't understand how you can drink Starbucks. I was like, well, I like coffee. And I had a gift card. Well, she's like, yeah, but you're giving them money. I said, my $5 is a fraction of a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
And also, like, same deal. Like, if, let's say, all Christians pull out of businesses and stores, like, physically don't go to them anymore, then, we're sticking it to the man. But all the people that are going there, don't they need a person that's filled with kindness, a person that's filled with goodness and joy, who's filled with the love God has intention. Shut up.
Nah, sorry.
Why that's doing other people a disservice because your pride is really getting in the way.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's levels of it too, I don't think it's wrong to boycott. I don't think it's wrong to, hold to your convictions and, stand for stuff because, change happens that way, in the real world. But at the same time, to have this kind of stance where like absolutely nothing can come past me. I can't, interact and relate to this kind of world. It's just kind of, it becomes exclusionary to the rest of the world,
Right.
And so it's a dangerous thing because all these companies that we're listing off do some really horrible things, and it's like, obviously I'm not cool with these horrible things, but I don't know. It's a tough rope to walk.
The biggest thing that people should probably boycott or the one that has done the most damage out of all of these companies is probably the United States.
Oof.
You hear that,
Britain.
America?
Not Great Britain. It's actually
you're right, because
exactly,
we're a
England,
result of
and we
Great Britain.
boycotted them so hard that.
Speaking of which, round 2 tonight, USA versus UK in the World Baseball Classic.
It's gonna be sick.
Wow.
My friend in college had a shirt that was like kind of tasteless, but also kind of hilarious. And it said like USA back-to-back World War champions.
No.
I was like,
Oh my god.
that's funny, but
it's so
at
bad.
what cost?
yeah. All right, real quick, I found this. It's not. It's better, I think, than just the food, right? This is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson owns a ton of stuff, even so much that they were creating a vaccine for COVID, right?
Right.
So,
which someone was like, what is that, baby soap that they're going to inject into?
yeah, pretty much. Well, lots of people were like drinking bleach and stuff, right? People. So their main industry, pharmaceutical, $94 billion revenue in 2021. They own like, so many things like Tylenol, Johnson & Johnson, obviously, Neutrogena, Band-Aid, all sorts of stuff.
Band-Aids? Band-Aid.
PepsiCo is food and beverage, $79 billion in 2021. And that's revenue. That's not just like, isn't revenue profit?
No.
It's just revenue is just what's coming and going. I mean, it doesn't seem high enough. But I mean, like, there's so many notable, like, there's like 30 things on this list, 40 things on this list. It's crazy. Procter & Gamble.
Oh, yeah.
Procter & Gamble, $76 billion in 2021.
Jeez.
They own Vicks, Tide, Pantene, Mr. Clean, Head & Shoulders, Gillette, Febreze, Crest, Bounce, Cheer. Like, they've got like 30 things on there. Unilever owns Ben & Jerry's and Axe.
Wait,
what? It's so random.
So they got the middle school market on lock.
Axe, Ben & Jerry's, Dove, Vaseline.
Yikes.
Yeah, and they've just got a bunch of stuff on there. Mars, we talked about Mars. They own Iams. I am an Iams dog.
What? Mars does? Are they putting chocolate in
there?
there?
They own Pedigree as well.
Are they putting chocolate in them dog food?
Yeah, $40 billion revenue, 3 Musketeers, 5 gum. Like if you're grabbing it right before you check out, they probably own it.
Jeez.
Coca-Cola, they own Body Armor, Fanta, Dasani, Smart Water.
Body Armor, interesting.
Minute Maid, Diet Coke, Fairlife, Powerade. $38 billion revenue. There's so many things on that list right there. The Mondelez International Group, lots of food stuff in there.
That's definitely like a big family, like
Yeah.
Kraft Heinz,
power family.
Jell-O, Kraft mac and cheese, of course. Kool-Aid, Lunchables, Oscar Mayer, Philadelphia cheese, cream cheese. Sorry, Velveeta.
Not the Vita.
General Mills, we talked about a little bit. They got a lot of stuff that you're buying.
It's wild.
Kellogg's, lots of breakfast foods and things. Comcast. This is a big one.
Whoa.
Comcast. We're into like ISPs and stuff. They own Xfinity, the USA Network, Rotten Tomato, Universal, whatever that is. The Philadelphia Flyers, I think, is what that logo is. What is that? MSNBC? Comedy Central, DreamWorks, Bravo. Like
it's theirs.
Yeah. Comcast Spectator or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could sit and list all these things.
I'm going to.
And
just wait.
All right, everybody hold on. But like that's kind of what the point is, right? Like everything is owned by like 3 companies.
Indeed.
Amazon's 2022 revenue.
Right. Was actually second highest, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I was seeing that on a website I was looking through.
$514 billion dollars.
I think Walmart was number 1.
Walmart
Yeah.
revenue. Interesting. Good for Walmart.
Yeah, $573 billion for Walmart
Crazy.
in 22. That's just
Saudi Aramco.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Huh, Apple was just $117 billion. Ugh, Apple.
So basically, what we're trying to say is boycott everything.
Every single
Right? Don't do anything unless it's homegrown. And even then, you're growing it on U.S. soil. So you need to just move out to some unclaimed territory, set up your own nation state, and become independent.
I've thought about it before.
I doubt there's like literally
There's no
I don't think
land.
there's any land that hasn't been discovered or claimed.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So really what we're saying
In the Bermuda Triangle, I'm sure there is.
Ooh, what about
lands.
in the earth? Inside.
like
of it?
under-
how
underneath?
deep does it go, right?
Yeah, the hole in the earth.
What?
Yeah,
Like
like there's
a
a world
hole?
under the earth, in the earth's.
There's a show that just came out all about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we're really saying just do your best.
Is
And
that
let-
what we're saying?
And let God do the rest. Thanks
Oh,
everybody for
hey,
joining us. We had a
Girls.
great time together.
Just live your life.
Remember, God's not
your
dead.
best life with Jesus.
Stop.
Jesus juke.